It's almost time to get on the airplane. A few more things to do to get the kitties' crates ready. They'll have this on their crates. This one tells everybody that's moving Vanna around that she's friendly but very shy and loud noises scare her. I put it in English, Spanish, and French. And G says, I am friendly. Nope, that's Vanna. I am friendly, but I like to talk a lot. Meow. So if they hear him talking, they won't be too worried about him. And then one more thing we will do. We'll give this one to the flight attendants right when we get on the plane, so they'll know to check and make sure that Vanna and G have been loaded on the plane and come tell us before we take off. A nice little note so they know how much we love these two kitties. Whew, it's time to get on an airplane, guys.
It's a lot of work moving to Europe. It is a nervous and an exciting time right now. We are changing continents, guys. We've been traveling around the Americas for the last 4.5 years, 5 years, and we're crossing the big pond. We're headed to Europe, and it's been a nervous morning. Snow's been getting everything all packed up, and believe me, guys, she puts everything in the right place and is very meticulous. And also very nervous. It just is a huge move for us, and we're gonna take you along with us.
One thing I want to tell you guys about this, kind of maybe explain what's so nerve-wracking about it. The major nerve-wracking thing is the kitties flying on the plane, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The next thing is, when you travel full-time in a van like we do, and you don't have a brick and mortar house. Everything we own right now is either in the van, in a ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, or in 4 suitcases and 2 backpacks that I just packed up. So the logistics of making sure everything moves along with us, it's kind of chaotic because it's literally everything we own. All right, I have known this was going to be a nerve-wracking 20 hours for me, but we are 15 minutes from getting picked up by the van to take us to the airport, and it is sinking in that we are going to turn our kitty cats over, and they're going to put them in the belly of this giant plane, and we're going to be up top, and I'm not going to see them, and I'm not going to know they're okay, and I am a nervous wreck, just to be completely honest with you guys. We have done so much research. We know we're doing the right thing on the right airline, the right way. We'll break all that down for you towards the end of this video. But fair warning, I'm probably gonna cry when we walk away from our kitty cats. I don't know why it's hitting me as hard as it is, but I'm gonna be a mess in about an hour when we turn them over. It's time.
This is as real as it gets right here, guys. You can see I'm loaded up, packing the front, packing the back. I got the 2 pelicans and the 2 cats, and Snow's gonna get the 2 rollies on in her purse, and she has a backpack too. So we are loaded to the hilt. This is getting real.
Let's go to Europe, but first, a big flight.
Maybe we could chase the sun, do what we've never done, just to feel alive. Close our eyes and take a leap until we feel the breeze under a brand new sky, and discover what's on the other shore. This life can show us so much more. Oh, away we go into the wild blue, into the wild blue, and all we know, anything's possible. Into the wild blue, into the wild blue, anything's possible.
All right, guys, Danielle was our driver. He was an awesome driver.
Perfect driver.
Got us here. This is all the stuff, including the kitties. We gotta load it up and get us to NASA.
Gotta do it.
All right, we made it down to Sanassa. Now, the unfortunate thing is Sanassa is at arrivals, so we still have to go all the way over to the international departure gate, which means we're going to have to take these guys a long way. Now, we did give these guys a little medicine to help them relax a little bit, and fortunately it's starting to kick in. And so by the time they get on the plane, they'll be pretty tranquilo.
Yeah, so you may be wondering, we already have our export paperwork that we got a couple of days ago at the Sanassa office in town. This airport is out of town, and you have to come here one more time and let them compare the paperwork to the microchip to make sure you're exporting the right pet. So that's what we're doing here. We shouldn't have to do anything but get that checked off. And then we go get checked in with our airline, which is Air France. Different. This is the first time in the cargo. Last time they were with me.
All right, the bags are leaving, and as normal, the cats are celebrities, even though they're sleeping. All right, another step in the process completed. We've got the luggage here about to be checked in. We're getting our boarding passes.
And so far, great help from Air France.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to pop in here for just a minute because I know we're going to get asked a lot about why we chose to fly the kitty cats down in the cargo hold instead of in the cabin with us. Well, there's a couple of reasons. Some of the airlines will not let cats fly in cabin on really long flights, and this is a 13-hour flight. The other reason is when we flew from Panama City to Cartagena, Colombia, it was only about an hour and a half flight, and we did carry the kitties in the cabin with us in their soft-sided carriers and put them under the seat in front of us like's required. And G had a really tough time with it. He meowed really loud, really nervous, really anxious the entire time. So we did a lot of research, and there are different ways you can ship your pets. You can carry them in the cabin with you with size restrictions. That's another thing. G is very borderline on being too big to fit under the seat. So for a 13-hour flight, not being able to stand up and stretch out, we didn't know what we thought about that. The more we researched shipping them in the cargo hold, the more we started to feel more comfortable with that. I had always thought when you ship them in cargo, it's cold down there, it's dark down there, and the pressure goes up and down. But some airplanes, not all airplanes, so that's important, and you'll hear more about that in a minute, but some airplanes have a cargo hold in the front part of the plane underneath the cabins that is pressurized and is climate controlled, and it's the same temperature as the cabin as long as the captain keeps it that way. So we decided we were going to go with cargo hold. We also did research, and we decided based on G's heart murmur when his heart rate gets up and how he reacted when we flew from Panama to Cartagena, that we were going to give them something to help them relax that we got from the vet. Now, ahead of time, we tried that out on them at the house, so we were there a whole 24 hours, saw how they would react to the relaxing pill, and they did okay. They just slept for about 12 hours. So about an hour and a half before the flight, they did get those right before we handed them off, and we hope that helped them sleep through the flight. But we did decide cargo hold, and I just kind of wanted to explain why. The more research that I did, the more I felt comfortable with it. You do hear horror stories about a pet passing away or getting lost or, getting put on the wrong plane, which is another reason why we were very adamant about taking a non-stop flight, so we didn't have to worry about them changing planes. But that did not make it any easier to take our kitties, watch them go through that x-ray machine and get carried off into the underbelly of the airport by the cargo handlers. That was a tough one, without a doubt. But it's what we decided to do, and I wanted to take a minute to explain it to you because I know we're going to get a lot of questions about it. Back to the video.
All right, we easily made it through security.
Yeah?
And now we get to go through migrations. It's a long line. We are officially out of Argentina. We are stamped out, and now it looks they take us through the duty-free store to our gate.
We're in line, getting ready to board. There's our plane right out there. I was hoping to get a glimpse of Vanna and G getting loaded on the plane, but honestly, security took too long, so or migration took too long, so I didn't get to sit here and watch. All I can do is hope they're on that plane and hope the captain will tell me, or the flight attendants. Oh, I hope they're just sleeping. Guys, this is it. We're headed to Europe.
All right, guys, we are boarding the plane. You can see Air France KLM. Oh, it is official. The move to another continent is on.
English? I have 2 cats. And they sent them to the crew a gift. They're downstairs. Can we make sure they made it to the plane?
Oui, elle est VIH. Thank you so much. Okay.
So they bring you candy.
Oh, really?
They bring candy for everybody.
Thank you.
So we eat them only if the cats are not, right?
Yeah, only eat them if the cats make it there okay.
So there they are. The note for you.
Thank you, thank you.
They're my babies.
Thank you, you're awesome. Thank you.
So, yes, this way.
Thank you.
Very much.
So we're getting ready to take off, and the stewardess loved their little candy gift bag from the kitties. And right before it's time to start taxiing, they came down here, and the captain showed me a picture of the kitty cats down there, all snug as a bug. They even looked up and kind of smiled for the camera. Everything's gonna be okay. But we've got 13 hours before I'm gonna see them, and that's when everything will really be okay. But how awesome of Air France to do that, to take the time to take a picture of my kitties down there in cargo hold and make sure I saw it. Pretty cool.
As the plane took off over Buenos Aires and I looked out across the lights, a feeling of nostalgia came over me, and I was just reflecting back on our journey 4.5 years ago when we moved all of our stuff from our giant house in Orlando in this tiny little house on wheels that I built. And I think the thing that stands out is sort of the fear of the unknown and the uncertainty of what lied ahead. I just can remember when we crossed the border into Mexico, and from that point on we faced challenge after challenge. You know, we had the global pandemic with COVID, we had to hunker down, and we overcame that. There was a massive earthquake in Puerto Escondido, or near Puerto Escondido where we were staying, and once we got back on the road, obviously we traveled into Central America, and of course, again, all the rumors of how bad Central America is, Guatemala, El Salvador. And as we journeyed through each of the countries, we became more and more comfortable with the travel, with the choice we made in our new life, and with the adventures that we were having. And to be honest with you, we just felt good about ourselves, being able to be successful at something completely different. I mean, our life was completely changed. And then we had to ship our van from Panama to Colombia, and that was another big milestone for us. And of course, Snow had knee issues, and we were planning on getting her knee replaced in Colombia. She had to lose 60 pounds. I'm so incredibly proud of her. So while we're overcoming our fears, we're learning how to live in a van, we're learning how to video and edit. We got to Medellin where Snow had the surgery, and everyone there was so kind and so helpful. That was a painful time for Snow, and a hard time for me, and a hard time for us, but we got through it and we moved on our journey. And again, we left there feeling more confident and yet still nervous about the unknowns of South America. You know, you hear all the stories about Colombia and Ecuador and Peru, and we just found the people all over the world to be amazing. And there were so many beautiful sights that you can't imagine, because all we really know about in our lives is sort of the more commercialized touristy places like Machu Picchu, or maybe Mexico City, or Cancun, or Cabo, or whatever. And there were so many cool places in the spaces between there. We were still just overwhelmed by the beauty of it all, and the wondrous choice that we had made, and the exploration, and more importantly, the presence that we were having in our lives. It was just amazing being able to connect with nature and see all this amazing wildlife. And shortly after that, Snow got really sick, and we headed to Buenos Aires to the hospital because she was getting worse, and we learned out that she had a heart attack. And that was when we sort of faced our mortality and realized that, hey, every day is precious, every second is precious, that we don't know when our number is going to be called up. And we just reflected on the decisions that we made to live in the moment, to take chances, to put our fear behind us. And we traveled on, and we traveled to all the way down to the southern tip of South America, down to Ushuaia and back up through Chile. And again, so many amazing things. And it wasn't always easy, guys. And we headed to Brazil, which has been one of the most beautiful countries with the most amazing people. So again, so much awesome wildlife and birds and mountains and trees and just stuff that we really hadn't experienced. And then it was all time for that to come to end. It was time to leave the Americas. It was time to head to Europe, to another country. And now, well, we're a little nervous about the journey that's ahead of us. You know, we've been so used to, for the last 4.5 years, of traveling through developing nations where everything has been so informal and so easy, because there's not a lot of rules, there's not a lot of regulations. And now we're headed back into the unknown and uncertainty. And it's not like we're just going to the next country. Guys, we're going to another continent. We're going to Europe. And we're super excited, but we're super nervous. We're super nervous about the cost. We're super nervous about the structure. It's gonna be, I'm sure, a culture shock for us. And we're gonna live, and we're gonna take you with us. So let's get to Paris and see how the kitties are doing. All right, guys. A little bit ago, we flew over our van, which should be right down here somewhere, is our land. And then you can see we're almost to Spain, and we got to go right here to Charles de Gaulle in Paris. So we're almost there. Did you get any sleep last night, Snow?
A couple hours. I never do good sleeping on the plane. Curt got more than me. But all I'm worried about is kittens and my kitties. I hope they got some good sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing shortly. Please fasten and adjust your seatbelt. Please put your seat back fully upright. Stow away your table, the cup holder, and your footrest. Disconnect any wire from the PC or USB socket, and open all window blinds.
Now I want to tell you a little bit about how we chose this airline. I did a lot of research. We had it narrowed down to 3 that would work. KLM, which would do a nonstop flight from Buenos Aires into Amsterdam. And KLM has an amazing reputation with pets. The other one was Lufthansa, flying nonstop from Buenos Aires to Frankfurt, Germany. Again, very highly rated when it comes to pets in the cargo hold. And then Air France with a nonstop flight into Paris. All the flights were about the same distance in hours. They were both, all 3 around 13 hours. So the next step is calling the airlines, literally reaching out and making sure that that flight allows pets in the cargo hold, that they have the pressurized and climate treated cargo hold. So Amsterdam was closest to where we'll be picking up the van, so that was our first choice. We called them, and that airplane that makes that flight does not have the guaranteed climate control in the cargo hold where the pets would be. So that was a no. So Amsterdam and KLM was off the list. Now between Lufthansa and Air France, it was just a matter of preference of where it was easiest in transportation wise and hotel wise and all of that stuff. It ended up being Paris, so we chose Air France. And as you can see, they were amazing. We packed up that little gift bag of candy with the little personalized notes from the kitties, gave it to the flight attendants so they could share the candy with everybody on the crew, especially up there to the cabin. And the little note reminded, and it was in the form of G and Vanna talking, so it was kind of cute with their cute little pictures on it, just reminding the captain that G and Vanna were down in the cargo hold and to please keep it warm and cozy. And guys, right before we took off, I know you've already seen it and I've already talked about it, but the Air France captain walked back to our seat and literally took out his phone and showed me pictures of G Money and Vanna down there in the cargo hold with the lights on, all strapped in like they got little seat belts, and that made me very happy. So we have no problem recommending Air France if this is something you need to do, but do your own research. It depends on the location you're flying to and from, but that's how we made our choice, and I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you, Air France.
We made it. We made it to France. We're here. Let's go get the cats.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Going to get my kitties.
Take care of you, yeah.
The kitties should come out at large baggage, odd-sized baggage. So I'm not sure if we have to go through immigration before we go get our suitcases, or if we can head straight to the kitties and then deal with immigration after. But all I know is we are on our way to find G and Vanna. Those poor babies, I hope they had an okay flight. I can't wait to see them. And by the way, we're in freaking France. So we've made it through immigration, which means me and Curt are officially checked in to France in the Schengen zone, which we'll explain that later for those of you that don't know what that means. But now we are going as fast as we can to the baggage claim area where we'll be looking for our fur babies. Babies yet? Not here yet? Okay. Oh! Oh, that's me. That's mine. Those are mine. Los are sorry. Oh, hey, buddy. Hi. Two, yes. Oh, it's okay, guys. It's okay. All right, guys. We got our kitties. Looks like they're okay. I gotta give them some petting. Here comes Curt, so we'll open it up and give them some loving. As you can see from the video, I was very anxious to get my hands inside of the little crates and pet and love and touch our kitties and let them know we were there and that everything was going to be okay. I want to be completely honest with how I think they handled the flight. I don't think it was a wonderful experience, but it's not for a human either doing a red eye. They were in those crates from the time we left the apartment till the time we get to a hotel here in just a minute for 17 and a half hours. They had access to water with these little water bottles, but they're not crazy about drinking out of them, although they could. So if they really needed water, they could get it. And a little small handful of kibbles, not much food at all. And they actually recommend no food, but when Vanna gets nervous, she likes to chew on kibbles, so I wanted her to have like 10 in there, and she had eaten them all. G did not eat any. They were definitely scared and nervous. When we pulled them out of the crates, you could see that they had been doing a little bit of scratching and clawing at their little rugs that they were sleeping on. And Vanna had actually peed and pooped in her crate. Luckily, it was just a little tiny poop ball, and it was hard, and it was over in the corner, so she wasn't laying in any mess, and she had peed over in the corner, and so it was a very small spot, so it wasn't terrible and messy, but she did go to the bathroom in her crate. So I was very happy to get to the hotel, which we're about to show you, get them out of there and give them some proper love. But I wanted to let you know that's how they handled it. It did not take them long at all to warm right back up to us. You hear people talk about with dogs how it can kind of traumatize them and take several days for them to get over it and kind of be comfortable with their humans again. That was not the case. Our cats were very, very happy and relieved to see us, and the same goes for us seeing them. We've made it to the room, and nothing mattered more than water, food, and the litter box. So the kitties now can calm down, eat, drink, settle in, and we can do the same, but top priority was them. We're gonna get settled in and we'll be back. When I was getting ready to finish the closing of editing this video, I realized that if you watch the footage, you can see we are tired, we are wore out. Not only do we have the 13-hour flight with the 6-hour time change, the jet lag, the red eye, not sleeping on the plane, but the leading up to the flight and getting the cats ready and all the packing. I honestly think that for me, I may have overdone it a little bit for my heart and wore myself out, because I felt like I had been run over by not one cement truck, but maybe 10 cement trucks. So getting to that hotel and laying down was first getting the kitties out, and then laying down was top priority. And this morning, as we head down for breakfast here in the hotel lobby, it is, we are not 100%. And there's been a few grumpy moments, which happens when you get tired and everybody's not feeling well. But we're going to settle in. We're going to be okay. We got big plans for today. And I got to tell you that this breakfast here is really, really making a difference.
Proper breakfast this morning. Looks good. Eggs, sausage, potatoes, my favorite.
Bacon.
Muffins. They have fruit, nice juices, good coffee. So much stuff. This place is awesome.
We're not in South America anymore.
We're not leaving.
And yeah, that's where we're at, guys. It was a tough journey, without a doubt. I mean, of course we're excited and we're happy, but we need some rest. So we'll see you guys in a few days over in the next video. Cheers. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!